Tonight we're here to just have an open conversation with the candidates that we have. We'll ask each of the candidates if they'll come up front and sit up front so that we can have an opportunity for you to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself and briefly about your agenda. My name is Anita Baker, and I welcome you.
We can't say we don't have the many recycled candidates that we've had for the last 15 and 20 years. So these candidates here, they have new ideas, and they're coming to the table in these different districts, and we will talk to them in 1 second.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Jimmy Hill. I'm going to say this a couple of times. The media can't find me. They don't know I exist. I'm not in the two-name list, but I'm running for mayor of Jacksonville, Florida, and they're starting to learn my name. Let me pay a tribute to our host by thanking the local for having us in here. This is really important and it's good. Let me share with you something most people don't know. There's an R by my name on the ballot, but I'm a patriot before I'm a Republican. I'm an American before I'm anything. And if you're not, I can't speak to you. I don't know how to get to you, but we'll work on it. We'll get you to feeling the same way at some point. I'm an American before I'm anything. I'm a patriot before I'm anything, and that's really, really important. People don't normally expect someone with an R by their name to have the background that I have. But I was a local union president. Let's think about that for a second. I was an IAFF union president. I've been to Tallahassee on a Supreme Court case to fight for the good fight that all of the brothers and sisters in the union are on. I've been to PERC more times than you guys can spell PERC, because I've been to PERC because they fought me, because they didn't like the way I managed as a union president. I will fight the good fight for labor, because labor has a seat at the table. Labor needs a seat at the table. Labor has to have a seat at the table, and labor has to have a voice. If it doesn't, the system fails. It flips. So thank you, brothers and sisters, for having me in your house. I appreciate it. I was a firefighter for 28 years. I've owned a business. I'm a family man. 5th generation Jacksonville resident. I know Jacksonville. I've been under almost every house in Springfield as a young man, because my dad worked for Jake's Plumbing, and I worked with him for a couple of summers, and it was a hot summer, and there was a lot of plumbing problems in Springfield that year. I've been in the neighborhoods of Jacksonville. I know this city. I cannot start. As a matter of fact, do we get a chance to talk about our platform a little bit later, or is it just?
Yeah.
So I won't go into it. I'm gonna say a word I've learned recently. A lot of people got started on this administration. Ditto on this administration. Ditto on this administration. There's problems in this administration. Serious problems. I'm not running because I'm a politician. I've been elected one time, city commissioner in the city of Atlantic Beach. I went there to clean house. I cleaned house. People had gotten comfortable. I want to clean house here and do what needs to be done here also, but I have the background to do it. So thank you for having me in your house. So crime is a symptom of a disease. Crime is a symptom of a disease. We can't stop crime until we treat the disease. The disease starts in a community where the trust between law enforcement and the citizens is broken. That's a fact. We know that. And it's a complex issue. We have to work on that. There's 3 layers, there's a ton of layers, but there's a lot of layers in this very complicated issue. A lot of our crime is gang related. But why are there gangs? Gangs revolve around drug sales. Drugs lead to petty crime. Drugs lead to property crime. Eventually, drugs lead to violence. Does anybody think there's not an element of drugs in these random shootings that are not solved, these incredibly sad numbers that we're hearing? That's a drug issue. It's a drug issue. Most of it's a drug issue. We have to work on that first. What would happen, now I'm going to go straight to just some silly ideas, okay? What would happen if law enforcement rolled up in an ice cream truck in a park in the middle of the summer and literally started building relationships, started talking to kids? What would that do instantly to change the view? If they meant it, if they were there because they meant it and they wanted to know the people and they wanted to help the people and serve the people. Our law enforcement officers are mostly great people, but they are also as scared as some citizens are in today's environment. We have to heal that relationship between law enforcement and the citizens have to feel like their law enforcement is there to serve them, because that is their job. Serve. serve, and protect. I'll do everything it takes, but mostly I'll listen. The solutions come from you. The solutions come from the community. I'm not going to know every player on the street, but I do want my law enforcement officers to know the names of those faces that we all know are reoccurring. And one more piece to it. It will never, ever get better until a citizen knows they can survive talking to the police about a crime. Think about that. You can't go tell your story in many neighborhoods and not become the next victim the next day. Something has to be done. That's a communication issue. It can be resolved through allowing people to share information directly to the people that can solve it. So thank you for the time.
Thank you. Tamika Gaines Holland.
I'm going to tell a very short story. I have no felt rash on my butt from the pew of a church. Okay, I want everybody to understand that. But I will tell you right now, if you remove faith from this conversation, we have no chance. If you remove faith from the future of our city, we have no chance. It has to stay relevant in the conversation. It has not worked. It has not been the answer. But if we remove it from the conversation, we're doomed. That's all I wanted to say about that. I think it has to stay involved. Thank you.
All right, thank you. We have 3 new candidates that just walked in. Can you introduce yourself, please?
Do you want a mayor that will lie to you to get elected, or do you want a mayor that will tell you the truth? I'd like you to answer it. Yes or no? You want a mayor that will lie to you, or you want one that will tell you the truth? We have one that'll lie to you. We have one that'll lie to you. The truth is, local level government is not the place to enforce gun laws. And here's why. Let's stick with me for a second. You have to be sophisticated enough politically to understand the layers of law. And the problem is you build separate compartmented laws that don't match everywhere. So some bills should be handled at a state level, and some things should be handled at a national level. Do you want these people spending the next 16 or 18 months fighting the opposition on this, wasting your money when it's going to be handled at the state level at some point because that's where it belongs? Or do you want your elected officials to handle your issues locally? There are bills that belong in local government, there are bills that belong in state government, and there are bills that should be handled at the federal level, and there are laws that should be handled in those 3 tiers of government. Gun laws, being a Second Amendment guaranteed thing, are not anywhere near, and I will tell you, there is not but one person up here to even have an intelligent conversation about the gun situation, except for someone in law enforcement and someone with a background, unless they spend a long time studying the nuances of it. Now, many of these people may have, and I don't know that, but I've seen people in local government handle these issues who have no idea what they're doing. I personally witnessed votes where someone had no idea. Please make sure your city government governs at the level you expect them to, and they don't overreach their bounds so you pay for all the impending lawsuits that will come when you violate people's rights. Please protect your money. Please vote for people that will tell you the truth. Thank you. All right, so I want to get out of the way of this question because this is an important question. As one of several candidates for mayor, this is my platform. This is the part I've been waiting for all night. Please pay attention to this. Find any other candidate for mayor, that will tell you this, mean this, and do this. I am running to give back something that's been taken from these council people. Right here, right now, under this administration, we have a strong mayor form of government. That strong mayor has taken the reins and he has made the city council as close to dysfunctional and unfunctional as it's been in my 55 years. It must be the most frustrating thing in the world to be a council person today on that council, because you have to make a deal. You have to probably agree to do something you don't want to do to get your potholes fixed, to get your culverts fixed, to get any of these issues addressed. You have to make a deal. And I heard the word back room earlier. There should never be a back room in government. It should happen in the sunshine. If a mayor can't work across lines and function across lines and listen to every idea, I have an appointment to sit down and talk about gun issues from a conversation area. I'm going to listen, but I also know for a fact that gun issues are not a local legislation issue only because of the cost of defending these issues. Yes, working across lines is the only way this will work, and that's the question. But bigger than that, as your mayor, I will give back, and I'll take 2 seconds to tell you how. How you give back that power is you take the standard function of government off the political table. You make the administrative branch, the mayor's office, do their job, fix your streets, fix your infrastructure, deal with your park issues. Those issues go on autopilot. They go into a system, and they get addressed without the political games that are taking place today. That's the difference between me and the other candidates that are running for mayor. I understand that piece of it. I'm willing to do that for you. I hope you'll consider me for your mayor, and thank you for the opportunity to answer that.
Mr. Gaines, for Ms. Brown.
Awesome. Thank you so much for the opportunity to come and speak to you tonight. I want to ask, who in this room is happy with the way it's working out in City Hall right this second? If you're happy, please come chat with me. I'll make sure that you're not by the end of the day. I know plenty of stuff that would make you furious if you knew about it. I'm running because somebody has to. I know there are other candidates in this race, and I know they're very popular in this room because they share some fundamental similarities. But let's talk about the job of running the city from the position of mayor. You have to be able to get the job done. Everyone else in this race has had 3.5 years to try and do the job. And I am not happy as a citizen of Jacksonville with what I've seen from anyone in this race. It's not that I'm willing to do anything other than, and this is the simplest thing, I am returning the government to the people through transparency. That is what's missing. Our city does all of its business in the back room. If you doubt how important you are and your neighborhood, if you have any doubt, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to hear this. This is the most important thing I'm going to say tonight. If you don't think that your neighborhood or you are important to me, understand that my wife's birthday is tonight, and she's here sharing it with you, and I'm here with you because you are important to me, and this city is important to me. I have no place to raise my children. I have no future for my children if we don't get this right, and I will do that for you. We may disagree on some things, but we will all agree Jacksonville is worth fighting to fix and keep right. Thank you so much. I'm Jimmy Hill. Thank you.